What's up, galactic inner earthlings? Whew, oh my gosh. So, thank y'all so much. Thank you for watching and subscribing because I saw it's coming up again and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. So, if this is helping you, please share with others so we can get this information out. Coming up in my crew today, and first of all, we have a huge magnetic CME hitting the planet today. So all of this plasma and magnetic plasma that was charged to technology and within technology and how your DNA was charged to the applications that we use, because it is what it is. It always was. It's not organic tech from the past. It's not technology. It's DNA, and it's molecular, and it's magnetic, and it is what creates images, and it's what creates reality, and it's what creates your vision. And technology is a mirrored application that is then programmed by programmers, and code is told what it is, and the code only knows what it is unless it's told what it is. If the technology isn't programmed correctly, then it's not going to be correct. The technology doesn't have human intelligence. The human intelligence has to be put in the technology. The humans that don't realize that and allow for the technology and for the ones around them to speak for them are basically like an avatar. The ones that are then moving around the reality, speaking truth, making changes, because that is how it is. You speak the truth. You speaka, codes literally come out of your mouth. And then through the power of your mind and your intention will align your reality to pull you out of the most stickiest situations. If avatars or something is coming down with the program that you don't deem has human intelligence or compassion, now if you want to rerun this real quick and listen to it again, because that's going to tell you exactly what's going on within our reality right now. C code is what all technology is built off of, whether it is a machine or it's C# or C++, which then gave all of us in the 90s screens to put our accounting information in, screens to put our zip codes in, screens on applications to then hold that data in different data warehouses that were built in order to pull that data to create a report. That data goes into a cell and then sits there and waits for it to be pulled. This is also how your brain works. Technology was only ever invented down here to show us humans programming and how things can be programmed, because you were programmed. This reality was programmed. Everything was programmed because it was in a huge metal ball that had an electrical fence around it that was attached to the street signs down here. It was attached to grids. It was gridding different states. It was gridding different beings from able to even leave the state. I mean, I blew a car engine going through one, 2017. There were energetic fences of all types that were programmed around the human race, all culminating from outside of the atmosphere. And then charged by charged particle coming from satellite systems that were beaming this, I want to call it currency, from Jupiter attached to Arcturus and other star systems that are in Libra that attach over into Scorpio and Sagittarius, because the whole thing works as a wheel. You can't just stop. You can't just talk about Aries. And if we're going to talk about a full cycle, you can't just talk about Aries and then not get to Pisces, because it's an alchemy wheel. Each from Aries to Taurus to Gemini, each one builds in some sort of a way all the way through over to Pisces. It's an alchemy wheel. It's a wheel that was set up on the whole entire human race. And for the most part, astrology is not good for you. I agree. Astrology in its old forms, wherever we're just recalling the last time this planet was here, then this is what happened. The last time this planet was here, this is what happened. Well, that's just reoccurring BS from what happened last time, which was then imprinting that over and over and over again to the highest mental lines that were even able to look up to the stars to use astrology. But astrology was made. In Lemuria, this wheel had 5 spokes. There was always a wheel. Mary Queen of Scots, she used to not hold a lamp. She had a wheel. In Lemuria, when we taught about incarnation and your soul coming to this planet, then you had a wheel. It spun. And it always was spinning. You sat around the wheel. You watched the wheel. You knew, and it wasn't houses. It wasn't Aries and all these made-up spell names, because they were at some point. It's what it was. They were more like one is a mirror. This area is a mirror. This area is your dreamscape, okay? And so the wheel would always spin when we taught how to incarnate, and that your energies were going to get fracked when you got here, to make you realize that this is only a snapshot of something that is constantly spinning. It's moving in different directions. There's energies in each house. And if you notice on my astro now, none of the lines even come up anymore. That's how much I've deleted them within my hard drive on myastro.com. The lines don't even show up for me anymore on these dailies. When I pull a snapshot, they're gone, because it should be how it is. There is no lines. What I teach and what StarAONomy is astronomy. Astronomy is facts. Energy moves within each constellation pattern to produce a reality down here within that charged pattern. Period. Dot. So on here, what I teach and what the book and the teachings and all these things that we're getting out over here is teaching everybody what their true energetic frequency was inside the wheel, so that you can pull out your energy of this wheel, which then makes the lines disappear. Now, I'm saying all that this morning because my crew and I, and what's taken me back today is all this work that I've ever done in my life in technology, and especially the past 3 years, all the tech that was stolen from Biden, Trump, somebody named Carlos Ari Lotfipour, the government, George Braun, who was Trump's lawyer, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, all of them around me in my reality the past couple of years, because there's many of us starseeds that we had that technology and these unified codes in our bodies down here because we had organic DNA, basically from inner earth or divine children. They knew who we were. They were making us. This was this Anunnaki turning people into gold. It was happening right underneath our nose. It's what the COVID is. because humans down here make money. It is not the other way around. You have a right on this planet because you being on this planet creates currency. Period. Dot. And that's the truth. And this is what we were here proving. So the moon over at 7 degrees Leo right now, that from 5 to 9 degrees Leo, it's a black hole. It's a black hole. If you have any energy or any planets between 5 to 9 degrees Leo, then understand that that is what I call now a hybridized mammal. It's basically where the mind in some way was altered inside the human of all men. This was like the Y chromosome getting split. It's also basically an alpha draconic degree that was connecting into the cell that then made, if you will, a bridge in between the Y chromosome to infiltrate the minds of animals. In the beginning, it was animals. But then that filtered over into knowing how to do it to the human race. So, as a collective and in the etheric, this 5 to 9 degrees of Leo replicates in issues in 5 to 9 degrees of Aries, especially 5 to 9 degrees of Gemini, 5 to 9, and Gina Marie has caught this on some of her videos where there's like a line going straight through Mars. Well, there it is. There's your black hole. It's a bridge that basically was cut and then energetically through frequency and mind patterns altered the human race. Therefore altering the atmosphere. Therefore altering, see, you change one thing, you don't just change one thing, you have to, then when you change one thing, it changes the whole thing throughout all space-time. And the moon's going through that area right now, which is why I woke up thinking about all the technology I had been involved in and the technology on the planet and how it was being utilized and who definitely doesn't need control of it anymore. Or come to the table to have a discussion with those of us who they always knew had the codes to the technology instead of stealing from us and pretending and putting all these beings around like Oscar Garcia and Christovu and these beings that were around in my last 2 years to trick me into helping them manifest Biden and $1 billion fund and elevate healthcare and all these damn things that they stole. Because then they were trying to get us to manifest it, thinking that they could get rid of us or cut us out in some way because we didn't have the power, we didn't have the money, we weren't at the table. Now us realizing that this is how they've been doing it all along, and I command it to stop. We're in the black hole, the moon is coming through, we control the moon, and we delete all connections to our DNA into any technology field that is siphoning energy from the human race now. And if the systems go down, then you know what the F, okay? We're done with it. We're done with it. We're done with it. We're done with it. We, the human collective and the population, will not power your mind control grids with our energy, and we will not. And we command all lines to be cut to us if it is doing it without our knowledge. And we command negotiation if you were using our energy or used any type of future timeline information that you infiltrated through remote viewing. When the world shut down, and if you convinced each one of us that we were helping and basically pulled our stability out from underneath us, we claim it now. And if the system shut down to whoever the heck was controlling it, well, then you know where to find us to turn it back on. If not, then we'll go build whatever it is that we want to build with our energy, and you can figure out a new way. So I'm calling that in. It's 11:22 on the clock. That's 33. We anchor it to the equator across all space-time. We command it to flow up and down and side to side inside this moon now. That's hitting Saturn. Saturn is going to go it's going to go direct on October 10th. So get ready. Because when Saturn goes direct, what Saturn's going to be projecting is your reality and all the karma and dharma that you have built up over your entire lifetime. And it's a new storyline. So for those of us who went back and cleaned so much of our ancestral DNA that we're so conscious now as to how our ancestors went down in this BS before, then understand that you've changed the past so much that your future will not be recognizable. Now, this is for me too, because we're living all through this together, right? I mean, we're embarking on new times. This is, well, no time. That's the thing. We're embarking on a new reality, a new way of living, but it's molecular, and it's actually being powered by the vaccinated. Our reality is going to start manifesting quicker because of the vaccinated. So when Saturn goes direct, we're going to start seeing way more of what we've built. Until then, it's like a look back into the past for us all to take a quick accounting, and it really is what it is. Whenever you're done in etherics with certain cycles or missions, I've always known it was over whenever we started doing accounting, because there really are, everything is very, very organized in the etheric. And when something ends, then accounting has to be done in order to figure out what lessons everybody needs to learn from Saturn. So George Braun, Trump, Biden, and the entire White House, United Nations, you're on notice. We know exactly what you've been doing down here in the United States. Europe, Russia, Korea, Indonesia, Philippines. Oh shit. You're in trouble. Nigeria, France. We got to talk. Venus, so you see this big X. X marks the spot. That's my point. Why they got that little circle in the middle. That little circle's in the middle of everything. None of these cross connect on anything. Y'all, this is Saturn's rings. Well, it's 5 colors, 5 frequency patterns running around a ball, right? See, and when you get a chart drawn in StarAONomy, I always start right there in the middle, and I put an X with a dot right there in the middle, like I'm cracking an egg from the top, because where it all meets in the middle is all that matters. But then why do they block that? Astro-dentist? You mean the dentist? Have you been to a dentist, lady? Lady. I said lady. Have you had any teeth work done? Are you losing teeth because you flipped timelines? Probably, because ley lines were all programmed to your teeth. Puppet strings. Now look, I'm not, astrology and astronomy, they have to work together right now, because astrology is the only way that we can even determine how you're lined up in the star systems to figure how to get you out. Period. Dot. All the astrologists out there, and especially the ones that call themselves quantum astrologists that brought this information back into this realm and started galactic wars, now it's your cleanup. I'm out. If you're an astrologist or you know an astrologist, please refer them to my channel, because there's information that I speak of that I need to help get into their hands so they can give all their listeners a little bit more information to keep everybody off a skipping record. This is where we're heading. No lines. Venus at 23 degrees is coming out, is still going through the skull and bones magic. We're halfway up the wand now. We're halfway up the wand, and with the moon in the deep hole, what are we seeing and feeling? Pure frequency waves attached to Mormonism and the Catholic Church and how they were doing their programming from the kings and queens of the Merovingian and their secret libraries of logs. The prison system, their secret libraries of laws and logs. Who was having sex with who was doing deals with who was killed in prison, who'd they kill, who in prison did they have them kill, because there's only certain people that can kill and get to certain people. They've been utilizing the prison system in order to basically build up their army in order to take over control of a handler system down here in a metal ball. We brought the whole goddamn thing down. Then you've got your own special juice of military. Now it's where it really gets interesting, because they're the ones who know who went missing, who was a POW, did they fly through the Bermuda Triangle and be lost into a different dimension? Only they had all of that knowledge and names of all the families that were attached to those different names, because if you happen to be in the aerial side, well, that's probably how you ended up a blue avian in this life. If your forefathers or somebody in your line went missing into another dimension in 1954, whenever the ship went missing and the planes went missing, well, it went into a different dimension in a consciousness bubble. Understand that the military knew which ones of us were attached to them up here. And whenever you go through ascension all the way back, you're going to remember, then you're going to have the information. Then you're the walking library, and guess who's the target? You were. Period. Dot. On all of those libraries. And then where is that data being held? Because I promise you it's not being held on the applications that people are running for $20 a month. No, it's going into a big Unix database, and it's going into a large database run by large corporations that then have access to your data because we gave it to them. But now we know what's up. The moon is then shooting over to Uranus, making a quick change. Venus is checking the gate, because with all the energy and magic and everything that's been claimed on this planet since the fucking shutdown, since they started this bullshit, I'm in a mood today. I'm just so furious. I'm so tired of all of us creating new concepts that, especially the past 3 years, and all of us that were on this planet in order to do so that everybody wouldn't die and kill each other over resources, which is why we did it. And this is the shit we're dealing with because of Elon Musk and his bullshit And then all the powers linked into him that made him who he is. But you have to understand that on the inside of their bodies, they ain't getting all the information. They've been hacked, fracked, like hell balls. I'm just done with it. We disconnect all energy from it now. I'll see code. I mean, if we need to bring down the entire technology system, we will. And we're getting damn near close to it. Everybody needs to wake the fuck up. If you want technology, be responsible and go freaking help and assist and see what the hell. Do not give the power to the technology. Do not give the power to the shot. Do not give the power to anything or anybody if it don't make any fucking sense. I'm releasing something. I'm a little bit beside myself, which I haven't been in a while. So, back to the chart. This is all because Mars is about to jump on that left scale of Libra with the sun on its back. Like a backpack. We were just talking about Boots and Dora the Explorer and all that mess. All of this is all around you. It's in all your archetypes. It's in all your movies. It was in all your TV shows. It was in all your cartoons. It was in all the anime. It was in all the video games. It's been in all the Netflix series. But then whenever you talk to me, you go, I don't get it. But your whole life is being programmed and it's subliminally giving you the information. See, that's my point. It's an alternate reality. It's an alternate. Boots is not a monkey. Boots it has a map. Hell yeah, it's got a map, but it don't just go with Dora the Explorer. I hope y'all are picking up what I'm spitting out. That's going, so the sun and Mars is balancing out. It's on the left scale. We're seeing it. The moon's beaming from inside, basically a frequency barrier, where it's making these final cuts and connections as we've got freaking plasma being streamed to the planet because it's source code, because it is what it is. It is going to mess up technology. It is going to fry some stuff. Stuff is going to keep blowing up because the machinery does not have the capacity to make an intelligent adjustment of physics. More and more gas plants, more and more nuclear plants, more and more shit's going to start blowing up, especially if it's underwater. If these physics and if the gases and if the things aren't adjusted and if the chemical compounds that they're using keep igniting into pure air because they shouldn't be there. And it is what it is. Anything that's blowing up right now needs to go. Even if it's me. If I spontaneously combust right now, then I needed to get the fuck out of here. Then I was the problem. Saturn's making a trine from Venus, coming out with all this information, and understand this is the Skull and Bones timelines. So, yeah, they were running the world with technology. We knew that. Facebook, they killed some Aggies for that. Texas A&M dropped a bonfire, 12 dead. 12, there's my 12. I was looking for it. 12. They killed 12. 12 college students, building a bonfire. in Texas A&M in order to get the power, in order to launch Facebook out of its little college bullshit, but it had already been stolen by Zuckerberg and his Antarian team that landed on this planet, and then basically, into all college students, to all college students, then had our younger generation Z picking out who was who and determining DNA locating by saying who's pretty and who's not. Boom shakalaka. You mean you were using the college students to identify DNA patterns? Because that's what you did. So basically you came in and you infiltrated our planet with a team of World War II, basically dead people. So then you came and infiltrated the United States specifically during the organic tech boom, which when all of this was being connected for the collective, the way it should have been done without this bullshit. And then what you did was infiltrate our children that we paid for in their college, and that's where you put it in first, so that they could help identify the beings and the realm that they just came from, because they're closer from source, so that they can help project you down here, because it's what you did. Then you made your own little system. It's basically World War II. They parachuted in. They parachuted into bodies. It had all been a 300-year freaking process for them. And now they're walking the planet because you just projected them here. Now we got fucking Obama. Now we got them walking around us. They're not even human. They're not supposed to be here. They're from a galactic hole in space. And then they come over and they take over what? Technology. Then they put everybody in a Facebook type application. Then they buy WhatsApp. So now everything that you type, they're reading, because they don't have to decipher it, because it's easy when you type chat, right? Because then you're just putting it directly into the AI. So then they're reading everything, especially from certain ones of us. And then that's how they did it. Well, we claim it all back. And you need to leave. And if you're in a body that you're not supposed to be on this planet and on this realm, then we delete you. And we command for the proper beings and proper energies to step into your field in order to assist us now for the rest of this ascension. And you are no longer allowed in this realm, and your soul is sent to Tartarus, back where it fucking should have been, back where it came from, period, dot. And if you're one of the wizards who set this up, then you got more things to do. And we're not going to let you leave just yet. If you're one of the ones who set this up and you're the Secret Six or whatever the fuck you want to call yourself up there at the top with whatever the fuck robe and hood you got on and dangling off your dick, you don't get to leave. You don't get to. Fucking Guinevere in prison with Epstein and blah, blah, blah. Where's she at? I ordered her not killed and I ordered her to be contained, but where's she at? That whole thing went quiet. It needs to hit the newsstands again. It's all part of it. You're going to hold the space and you're going to help us unwind it all, whether you want to or not. We'll take over your body the same way you took over somebody else's consciousness or body. Period, dot. Because it is what's happening on the planet. We hit Spica. I think everybody needs to really understand that. Everything's changing. Nothing will be the same. Nothing will be allowed to hold the human race back anymore. This is universal divine consciousness. It's in all the books. It's in all the Bibles. It's what they want you to not see. The true note of the collective is almost out of hiatus. We're almost out. We've only got a few more minutes backing up to get out of hiatus, and then we're going to go into blue avian degree. Blue avians can come step and just take over your body. If you've ever had any missing time, you probably were taken over by a blue avian. That's the power of the divine. But it will no longer be run by any low-level frequencies. And so it is. I'm sorry that this message isn't a happy, cheery one, but this is how I woke up this morning. This is what my crew is also seeing is happening within the mental applications that they're building, the healthcare applications. Who's holding your data, Murdoch? Murdoch, Madoc, Eminem. We command that all of our funds be given back to us from all the secret bullshit deals. And we command the federal government be the one to deliver the check, since they're the ones that sent me the dirty money from the federal government to BMO Harris account 2 days before Kamala Harris was announced as the running mate. And where's she at? Love you guys. Be conscious. Think outside the box. Trust your intuition. Trust your specialty. Develop your specialties. Develop your specialties. You don't have to be all things. You don't have to figure it all out. You only need to figure out your pieces. Those are your specialties that the rest of the collective is relying on you to finish your pieces. Right now, my ground crews that's got lawyers that have the information on the paperwork on the ground, please, if you have any information on the federal government, you have any backing on this, you would like to be involved in a class action lawsuit, email me, OfficialChastiaCav@gmail.com. Because I can promise you, this shit is coming out. If I have to be the one to do it, then I will. But we can't do it alone. There's so many of us walking around that know exactly what the hell just went down because we walked through the future to get through it, to get back here. And there ain't no way it can be covered up. And I know for a fact that whenever I came down from Spica, we reprogrammed some shit and went into some systems and changed some numbers. So if all of a sudden you're getting information, that's where it's coming from. OfficialChastiaCav@gmail.com. Let's fucking roast their asses.